Good morning. Welcome to PropFirm Dreams. I am maxed out on Tradeify, TickTick Trader, Purdia, My Funded Futures, and I have a few Apex as well. I'm a mean reversion trader. I use the Bollinger Bands. I take one trade a day and then I set it and forget it. All right. Today we are going to be talking about inversion. Now, billionaire investor Charlie Munger, the late great right hand man to the GOAT Warren Buffett, wrote a book before he died called Poor Charlie's Almanac. And in it, one of the central themes is the process of inverted thinking or inversion, basically taking a challenging problem and turning it upside down. And I'm going to explain exactly how I did this when I started this channel in order to win at the prop firm game. Now, the reason this works is because we as humans are really good at finding problems with things, and we're much better at finding threats in the environment than we are at finding solutions. For example, if I asked you, what's the problem with online prop firms? I bet you could probably list like 4 or 5 things off the top of your head. Now, if I asked you how you would run your own prop, that might take you a little bit longer. So, now that we've established that as a species, we are better at identifying threats and problems, let's move on to a practical trading example. Now, like me, you may have a goal of getting payouts from prop firms or becoming a consistently profitable trader. Your thinking might go something like this. Okay, I need a strategy. I need to read the rules. What's the most affordable eval if I pass in one day, etc. Or, dang, if I pass in 2 days, I get a payout by the end of the next week. We tend to have a greed tilt. Now, instead, let's turn the problem upside down and invert it. If I absolutely wanted to fail at trading, what would I do? Well, I could go as hard as possible. I could try to pass in one day. I could size up, go full clip. Nothing has killed more of my accounts than over leveraging, sizing too large. I'd probably overtrade, try to take as many trades as possible. Usually, the more trades I take, the more money I am likely to lose. I wouldn't use an edge. Forget that. I'd straight up take random ass trades. If I had a strategy, I definitely wouldn't follow it. I'd just push the button whenever I felt like it would work out. I would scalp, which I suck at, and I'd stay glued to the chart, watching every tick for maximum anxiety. And lastly, I prominently display my P&L so I can see how great I'm doing. So that's what I would do if I absolutely wanted to fail, and I've done that many times. However, since I'm not, and since I wasn't when I started this channel, I was trying to get paid. I flipped that on its head, and I ended up with the inversion of that, the inverse of that. Essentially, what I would do if I absolutely could not fail, if I was down to my last dollar, and this was the last prop I would take, I would go as slow as possible. Sure, I might be able to pass in one day or 1 week or 1 month, but if I took 2 months, I absolutely couldn't fail. I would size down. By sizing down, I could hit my peak drawdown and still not fail an account. Sizing down gives me more trades and less stress. It's hard to fail with small size. I would follow my edge. Sticking with a simple, proven edge, even a weak one, is a guaranteed way to win over the long run. And since I'm more likely to take trades when I'm looking at the charts, I would aim to minimize my screen time. The less screen time, the better. Lastly, I'd hide my P&L. Following the process guarantees me success over time, and having my P&L up where I can see it doesn't really help me in any kind of way, but it could hurt me. So, fast forward, that's what I did. I looked at props as a long-term investment. I mean, where else can you get 10 to 20x returns in a year, or even really a couple months? Like nowhere. So if it took me a few months to make a year's salary, I was completely okay with doing that. I already knew how to fail. Now it was time to flip things. And that's how I finally beat props. Okay, let's get to the charts. All right, it is the top of the hour here at 9 o'clock. News just came out at 8:30 CPI, and that's this long wick here you see here. As I stated earlier, we are a mean reversion trader, and so we're going to be looking for reasons to go short here. We're outside the Bollinger Bands, and if we can get a lower low, then we'll enter here short. So let's see what we get.
last call you can't deny. Better find a place to hide.
All right, so this was pretty frustrating. I was trying to size down on a lot of my counts because I had a larger stop, and I ended up entering in at half size. Unfortunately, this causes a lot of problems when you have a bunch of accounts because on the Apex Replicanto copier that I'm using, I have a lot of crossovers that aren't perfect 2-to-1s. You know, some of them, for instance, are 0.5, and if I'm trading 2 lots, um, then normally those accounts trade at 1 lot. But since I went down to 1 lot, then they need to cross over to micros. But I wasn't set up like that initially. So some of the counts made a little bit too much money. Not too much because I have the profit triggers here, but other counts didn't quite make as much money. I added an additional entry like 2 minutes later to try to fix the issue, but I didn't quite fix it. What it did was it brought down my lower average cost in, and then I end up just getting hit on that break even, that take profit break even. So normally I just usually go in all at once, and so that would not have gotten hit. But there was a small discrepancy between the micros and the minis on some of these accounts, and so that's why you have some of these hitting their average auto break even, while others of them did not. So that's pretty irritating, you know. This is sort of one of the pitfalls of trading a bunch of accounts. Like these accounts didn't make any money at all; they lost on commissions and fees. So pretty irritating. At least I made some money on some of the accounts, but I would have liked to just take my I like to just be trading my personal account with and then I always get the position sizing right. I would have gone in all at once. I never would have got triggered by the auto break even, etc. But it is what it is. If wishes were fishes, we'd all cast nets, and happy to get some green on the day. But it does irritate me, my perfectionist tendencies, because my next payout some will get payouts on, and others will have to wait. So anyway, it is what it is. Hopefully you guys were mean and green as well today, and I'll catch you all tomorrow. Peace.